Unmute yourself.
So I'm going to call this special meeting of the Mansfield Middle School Roof Committee to order. The first item of business is approval of the minutes of March 6th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Mr. Briggs, seconded by Mr. Shapiro. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, done. Now, the roof replacement, the first memo is the payment of invoices for Colliers. Would somebody present this?
Sure, I can jump in. Good morning, it's Maria. We do have the final invoice for Colliers for the remaining work for Clerk of the Works Services. The invoice is dated March 7th, 2024. It was in your packet for the amount of $1,638.84. So we are seeking approval to pay that invoice.
And let me ask the critical question, is the work on the roof actually completed?
Yes, it is.
And we don't expect to have any more bills from anybody?
None that I am expected.
Oops,
I thought there were two outstanding invoices.
there are two, there's Colliers and Imperial.
I
But
see.
this, we're only talking about Colliers now.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and Colliers has done all the final inspections and the roof has been approved and,
Yes, correct.
all right, so I will entertain a motion to approve the invoices from Colliers.
So
Mr.
moved.
Briggs? Seconded by Mr. Shapiro. Any questions, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion to send the invoices to Colliers is adopted. The second issue on the agenda is the payment of invoices for Imperial. And this is basically the pass-through that goes to the solar company. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and the solar installation is complete, plugged in, working, generating electricity?
Yes. Although I did not check this morning. Let me look. Yes, we are generating this morning too.
Good. And is it going into the system in an appropriate way?
Yes, it's going back into the building, 27.5 kilowatts.
Good, terrific. So I need a motion to approve the invoice for Imperial. Is there's such a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Briggs approves, Mr. Shapiro seconds. Any question or discussion?
Tony,
Yes.
I just want to make sure Mike from facilities is in the picture. Mike, or
Alan?
Alan. Alan, I just want you to reassure us on the record that all of the contractors' work, which includes their subs, has been done in a satisfactory way in accordance with specifications. And we're ready, and there are no further outstanding bills for this project.
Yeah. This question goes to Bill Teach.
So, yeah.
Yep,
Treach, sorry.
that's all right. I'm used to that all my life.
Well, as somebody whose name is always mispronounced, I understand.
Yeah.
So, Bill, is everything completed?
Everything has been completed, including anything on the punch list. The walkthroughs that were done with the building inspector have all been completed. Everything looks good and is working as a good roof right now. So I appreciate all your guys' efforts on this long drawn out process. So.
All right. So we have a motion on the floor and it's been made and seconded, and all those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion adopted. Now, does that conclude the project?
Yes, it does.
So do we need a motion to recommend to the council that it close this committee?
I can't answer that one.
You know,
I do want to give a little input on that it did come in still under budget. With the final bills is somewhere around $600,000 in savings, so.
Now, is this the final budget, the $3 million budget, or the 1,200 or 1.2 million?
So the 2.8 million was put to the council a few years ago for the roofing project. And then at the end, we're somewhere around $600,000 in savings. So,
That savings is based off the 2.1 million.
yep.
Good,
Can I
all right.
ask for a little context on the last comment? I'm assuming that the 600,000 is the difference between what the voters approved and what was actually expended. Is that correct?
It's the difference between what was actually approved, the 2 point some million, and what we actually spent. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
We had expectations that it might have come in a little bit lower, but we increased the number that we requested. Is that correct?
Well, we had to add the scuppers and the other drainage stuff.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right, we would have had a little more. We've learned with the changing of the weathers in the New England or all over the country, in the world, that we did needed some extra help with the roof to get off the amount of water that's on there. Bruce and crew I thought were fantastic as far as when we had a problem or a new design, he knew how to fix it, so.
Now, there's been some discussion about shingles, and I thought the whole roof was a membrane. Can somebody clarify this?
Sure. I'm trying to think of the proper word for it. But it's like a rolled roofing material. It's similar to a shingle. It's what was put on at the town hall also. They use a layer of fabric underneath. It's like a 2-ply material, they call it.
Yeah,
And it's a layer of membrane underneath that's like a fabric that's glued. And then this hard shingle rolled out roofing is glued down on top. And supposedly over time, because of the thickness of it and the stones that are on it, like a shingled roof, should give us, and the state wouldn't reimburse us for this, but it should give us a 30-year lifespan of the roof instead of a 20-year lifespan on a rubber membrane. So it is like a tougher material. The downfall is on it that it's not like a pool liner. So it won't hold water on the roof. It's made to shed water, which most roofs should be like that. You know, you're not made Ryan had a good analogy at the town council meeting. You know, go back to your ice dams that can form here in New England. And if you get those, they can back up underneath the shingles and you will find leaks anywhere in your house then. The fix that they've come out with now is called that water and ice shield. And that's literally like putting a pool liner underneath your shingles. So that's how that stops on your house. That's not what was added to the middle school. So, I mean, that's my interpretation of the roof that's there.
right.
How
How does this compare with the roof on the elementary school?
So the elementary school has metal on some, which is even better yet. And then they do have a rubber membrane, which has a 20-year life. It's just literally a rubber membrane. That was very similar to what we had on the old roof at middle school, was the rubber membrane.
Okay, so we're gonna get 20 years out of that roof and 30 out of this one.
I'm really hoping that we get 30 years out of this roof. It's definitely much tougher than the rubber roofs. When you walk up there, it's much tougher. It's got some resistance to it. So you on a rubber membrane roof is you literally walk the roofs. My custodian goes up there close to once a week to look at things, and anything sharp can puncture a rubber membrane roof. A tree branch falling on the top of this roof at middle school, I don't think it will puncture it. It's much tougher. So.
Okay. Well, I would entertain a motion to dissolve this ad hoc committee, and to thank everybody, staff and consultants and contractors for their work. Moved by Mr. Briggs. Mr. Shapiro, do you second? Okay, any discussion?
Mayor, I just want to reiterate your gratitude on behalf of Mansfield Public Schools to our community members that serve on this committee. Thank you. You spent a lot of time in these meetings. It's not lost on myself, our staff especially, and our kids. And so we often talk about putting kids at the center of our decision-making and our work. And even a roof is about kids, and I appreciate your service. I want to put a plug that there may be other needs and other building committee opportunities. So Paul and Bill, answer our call, should that be the case. And to our town staff, Bill, you've done a great job making sure we cross the finish line. And then certainly our vendors, we couldn't do that without you. So we appreciate your patience and your willingness to work. We know that we've done some late modifications, but I think those modifications, including the scuppers, were pivotal in acknowledging weather changes and will mitigate any future problems with it. So thank you all, really appreciate it. And to the town manager, Ryan, thank you for supporting the district.
Tony, if I might add one slight rebuttal to what Peter said. I no longer live in Mansfield, and I will not be serving on any additional Mansfield tax.
Oh, well,
our law.
shucks. Yes,
By default, that's
abandoned us.
Still is it.
All right, so with motions on the floor, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, so Maria, will you or Ryan, whoever, make sure this gets onto our next agenda
Will do.
for the council? Okay, and thank you, everybody. I know I got drafted to do this, but it's been a pleasure. So
Thank
take
you
care,
all.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A motion to adjourn is in order. Somebody make the motion.
I'll make it.
Mr. Shapiro makes it. Mr. Briggs seconds. All those in favor of adjourning, please raise your hand. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you.